Happy weekend, patrons. Thank you so much for your support of Category 5 TV. It's so great to have you here for my vlog today. It is Sunday, the 30th of September, 2018. And you know, over the past little while, we've had occasional issues with microphones, and that comes from well, we had one of our phantom packs had gone bad and needed to be replaced. So I'll show you what we've been doing for years. And remember that Category 5 originally was based out of my house, so we had a basement studio, we had one desk and one camera pointed at us, and we were stationary. We never moved around. So this was a great solution. Now, fast forward to Season 8 and beyond, and we've been here in Studio D. We have 4 sets. We've got this set that you see me on here, which you're very familiar with at this point in Season 11. We also have the green screen set, which we have not used through Season 11. And then we've got the desk shot that is to my right, your left. The desk shot is whenever you see me sitting at the desk, of course. That's why I call it the desk shot. It's not just a clever name. And we've got, finally, we've got the new unboxing table. That's the red table where I do all the unboxing. So this scenario of the stationary microphones has proven to be problematic or challenging, if you will, here in Studio D, because we cannot move around without stopping what we're doing, dragging cables across the studio, reconnecting everything, and then setting up cut points so that we can make it seem seamless when we actually broadcast that on the air or upload it to YouTube or our RSS feeds, and when we broadcast on KVVB TV, those kinds of things. So it's challenging, that's for sure. So this is how we've been doing it. This is the stationary solution. You see, we've got a hard wire, so this is an XLR cable. That XLR cable goes into a phantom converter. So this provides 48 volts power to our headset microphones. These are special mics that require power in order to operate. Without that power, there would be no sound. So these units here are a little more complicated than just for example, plugging in a microphone into any old cable. No, these actually provide that power, which comes from our mixing console. So then it downsizes it to the kind of input that we need for our headset microphones, and then we clip this onto our belt, but we're very stationary. So of course this cable also goes through a mute switch, which we have on the floor in front of each of us. So if I need to cough or clear my throat, for example, I can step on that mute switch and it automatically turns off my microphone by cutting off the signal to that XLR. That's very, very handy. So of course, there are a couple of reasons we've never gone wireless. We tried going wireless in Studio C and Studio B before that, but we always got interference. And the reason for that is because we operate with a shoestring budget, as you know, and we operate through your contributions and through the compensation that we get from Amazon and other partners that that give us a percentage of sales when folks like you use our partner links. So there's never been you know, $2,000–3,000 that we can invest in a good mic system that's wireless. So we always had like the $60 solution, and they do not work very well. As soon as, you know, like we're 3 feet away from the mixing console at most times, and we would get some static or some interference or some dropouts and things like that. So that's problematic, and that's kept us away from it. So those are the 2 reasons: the cost and the interference of the lower cost solutions. So high cost has never been, you know, a $3,000 mic unit for wireless headsets has never been an option for us. So this is the way we've stuck, and it's worked really, really well. It does work very, very well when these are not damaged, and the only downfall really is the immobility. The other time when it's really a problem, and the reason that you see us on this set more often than not, is because in order to go anywhere else, it takes a lot of gear, because there's a lot of wires, there's a lot of stuff. So as I say, when I move over to the desk, for example, I have to disconnect everything. You see me leave the set if you're watching live, then I sit down, I rewire everything, I drag wires across the floor, plug everything back in, do a couple sound checks, press record, and then we're back on the air. and then I edit it in post-production so that it works. So with a wireless pack, of course, we could just walk around and I could just move over there and continue recording kind of thing and do it on the fly, do it in real time, much more so. But the other time that it comes into play is if we ever want to go outside of the studio. There was a time when, for example, we did a drone shoot outside of our studio, just in the parking lot. That was a lot of fun. But I had to wear a belt pack with a audio recorder, battery powered. And then Krista and I had to plug our microphones into that, press record, move out of the studio, start recording with a handheld video camera and the mic pack recording. And then in post-production, I had to edit it all together. And for the live viewers, we had an iPod Touch running a wireless feed back to the studio. And it worked okay. But again, very time-consuming to set up. It's very difficult, and it's not as easy for us as a wireless pack would be, where we could just walk outside. With a good one, you could just theoretically walk outside and continue recording from our regular studio rig, because the higher end wireless microphones can reach fairly far, and they'll go through walls and things like that without any problem. So so those are some considerations that we have anyway. So when Sasha's microphone, when the pack stopped working, I started looking for a replacement for it, and here in Canada they're very, very expensive, like 3 times the price as they are in the United States. So our viewer Marshman said, hey, I can order it here in the States for you. We'll get it at 1/3 of the price, and then I'll ship it to you, and you can just pay me back for the cost of it plus shipping. So that's what we did, and it worked fantastically well, and I appreciate Bill doing that for us. Saved us 2/3 of the price in order to get Sasha's microphone back up and running. So that's one way that Marshman was able to find to pitch in with Category 5. Saved us some money, got us back up and going real quick. But Sunday rolled around before Wednesday's show, and he said, I still haven't got an update on the shipping. It looks like it's supposed to be there before Wednesday, but it might be Thursday. You might not have it in time. And I knew that we had Jeff and Sasha here that week, so I needed to find a solution. We weren't sure if it was going to be here on time. So I immediately, also, while we were waiting for that to arrive, it had already been shipped, I reached out to our local music shop, who we've long loved, and they've always been great supporters of Category 5 TV. If you're ever in the Barrie area, I'd encourage you to check them out. Go spend some money with them, or just go and check out the store and see what they have for you. They've got a great selection. So the store is called Music Pro. I emailed them and I said, we're in the situation where one of our mics isn't working. We'd love to go wireless, but they're really expensive. I could probably budget anywhere from about $400 to $500, because I knew through Amazon and a couple of other shops, there are some really low-end, and again, I'm getting back to those low-end solutions, right? There are some low-end solutions for around $400 to $500. So if I'm going to go wireless, we could probably aim for about that, but I can't see, we're never going to be able to spend a great deal of money. We're never going to be able to spend $3,000 on a proper rig of the high-end components. So this pack arrived in time. We were able to do the show, and then a week or so later, I heard back from the music store, and they got back to me ahead of time and said, we'll look into it for you. But I did hear back from them, and they said, we found you a used unit. It's high-end. It's something that we use in churches and things like that, but it's used, and we'll give it to you for that price. But we know that, audio is a real consideration for you, but also that finances are, you've got to be careful about what you spend, and we've got to be good stewards of the money that that you contribute to Category 5 TV. And so what we're going to do, this is what they said, we're going to let you use it for 3 weeks. No charge, no strings attached, and see if you like it, see if it works for your environment, see if you get any static or any interference. And then if you decide to go with it, we're going to work out a deal with you. You don't have to pay it all in one lump sum. You can just come back to us and we'll work out something. So that's where we're at. So this weekend, I headed over to Music Pro because they said they've got it in stock. It's ready for us. And seriously, check out this store. They've got a huge selection of everything audio. When the box was brought out, we were like, wow, that's a really big wireless microphone kit. So I had to get someone to help me carry this outside to my van because it was just so big. And thanks to that help, here we are at Studio D to do the unboxing. So these are handy. We're going to hold on to these, but for the next little while, we may be checking out something else. So this comes to us from Music Pro. Let's get into the box. Haven't got my box cutters yet, but I do have a pair of scissors. I'm going to be very, very careful, Bill. I'm not going to cut myself or anything else. All right. So it is a big box, but it feels like it's maybe overpackaged. And I'm serious about this, folks. Like, here's my invoice. Bam, bam, invoice. We've got it until October 27th. So they've basically set it up as a rental for us. And so it's just a case where, you know, we have to pay for it, obviously, if we decide to go with it. But they're such supporters of the show that they're willing to do something like that for us, in knowing that we really want to know that what we buy is going to be the right thing. Who else would do that for us? So that is a wonderful thing. Okay, I'm getting into the box here. Let's see what I come up with. So it definitely is well packaged with a bunch of bubble stuff. Okay, so it's a Sabine receiver. So this is the thing that's going to go on to our belt. Let's get in a little bit tighter here for you so that you can see this. So it's multi-channel, and you can program each of them to be on different channels, and it'll automatically scan to find one that is not going to get any noise and things like that. So let's see how we get into it. Again, I haven't opened this before, so okay, so 2 AA batteries, that's perfect. I do like that as opposed to 9 volts. It's cheaper and easier to get rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries for this. That's pretty nice. It's got a nice belt clip. So that's going to sit on our belt. And then our same microphones are just going to plug in here, so we don't have to replace the microphones. We just plug into the pack. I'm going to have to see if our adapters will work on that. These look like 4-pin XLR minis, so I'm not sure if I have that. I'm going to double check that in just a moment and see what I do have. These are Apex 575s that we're using. Sasha's mic is a Pile Pro, and the Pile Pro actually, it looks like already has 4-pin mini XLR, so that's perfect. So this one is compatible out of the box. Now my microphone, the Apex 575, is using an AKG adapter. These are more expensive microphones. We've had these ones since the get-go. So let's see. I do have kind of a drawer system over here with where I keep all of our extra stuff, cables and things that come with these microphones. So let's get in here and see what I have. So this plugs into the microphone, and that is a 3-pin, so that's not going to work. What's this one? This is another AKG, so that's not the right thing. Let's see. Okay, we've got another 3-pin, and I've got some old Sennheiser style with the kind of the headphone style input. So I don't have the cables for our Apex 575s, looks like, and I've got another 3-pin XLR. So those are not going to go into this pack. So I'm going to have to find out about the Apex 575 and see if I can get an adapter for the microphone, these microphones, to go into a 4-pin mini XLR. So that's a little disappointing that I'm not going to be able to use these mics out of the box. Sasha will be able to use it right away. Here's one of the nice things too. They've given me 4 of these packs. So that means all 3 of us on the set will have wireless, and 1 extra for if we want to do interviews or things like that. Perfect. Okay. Then we've got a 19-inch faceplate for the rack. So this puts the antennas at the front of the rack rather than on the inside of the rack, where you may pick up some noise from the AC and things like that. So this pulls them up to the front. That's awesome. Okay, and just set that down over here. We've got the power transformer, and ultimately, and it looks like that's it. Nothing else needed. And these are all rack mount units, so it's going to go into our audio rack already. We can just plug it, like put it into the rack, and that makes it more portable for us. So we've got the 4 units here. Oh, isn't that nice? So it's a single, I thought, so this is a modular system. I thought we were going to have like multiple things that needed to take up desk space or maybe be mounted in some strange way. But these are like a modular, it looks like you can buy, like if you bought 2 of them, you would just put 2 in, or if you bought 4, you could put 4 in, but this has got all 4. So that's pretty sweet. Then on the back, so let's get in a little bit tighter here for you. So there's the front panel for you. So wait till the camera focuses. So that's what it looks like to us. And you can see it's used, but it's in excellent shape. I mean, who mishandles these, right? Just sits in the rack and gets used. Then on the back here, we've got the 2 antenna connectors, which are going to go to the faceplate. Then very important, do you notice how we've got 1/4-inch outputs? Okay. Those are no good for us. Then we've got a mixed output. That's kind of handy if we want to like monitor it or something like that. Plug it into a headphone amp and we can hear the mics, make sure that we're not getting static. So I do like that, though it's not really necessary. The key thing that's necessary for us is XLR, right? So this makes it compatible with our foot switches. So that means that the XLR from this can go out to our foot switch for muting, and then from the foot switch back into our mixing console, and then we can still mute our cordless microphones simply by stepping on the pedal. So I mean, it's pretty simple looking unit. We'll hook it up this week and see how it works. It's going to be, I guess, only Sasha's mic, unfortunately, just because of the cables. And I'll just confirm that these are all, yeah, they're all the same. So these are all 4-pin XLR as far as that goes. Yeah. So, but that's something we should be able to solve just by purchasing a reasonably cheap cable. So we'll see. I'll look into that and find out what is going to be necessary. So we'll give this a try for the next few weeks, and that's at no charge and no commitment to us, thanks to Music Pro. And from there, I guess through that time, I'll probably order the cables. I'll find some on Amazon, or maybe contact Music Pro and just ask them if they have any that we can use. Otherwise, we'll use Sasha's mic this week on the wireless, and then we'll go from there. And we'll see how things go. And then if we decide that this is the thing that we want to do, as we upgrade going into Season 12 is about to start, if you can believe that. So Season 12, we could be wireless and able to move around the studio much more freely, which to me means we can do more stuff around the studio. We can start using other sets more seamlessly because it's going to be less work for us during a live broadcast to move around. So I really like that thought. So it looks like a great unit. Looks like it's in great shape for a used unit. We're going to get it for super cheap. And this again is a high-end unit versus spending the exact same amount of money or maybe a little bit less and getting a really low-end unit. So this is something that's more geared toward professional broadcast, or as they say, they use it in churches and things like that. This is geared more toward that. So we'll figure out what we can do to plug into it and go from there. And let me know what you think. Just comment below. Tell me if you think, hey, this is a really great thing to be trying out. I think this is going to give us a lot of freedom, and I'm excited about that. So I guess the final thought is that you as patrons, could you watch the next several episodes? So knowing that we have this for 3 weeks on a trial basis, so we're up to number 576. And so this is going to be 576, 577, and 578. We will be using this. So watch those episodes and let me know if you notice any difference in the quality of the audio. Is there any static? Is there any dropout? Are you picking up any signals coming from outside that we shouldn't be? Those kinds of things. It would be really helpful to hear from you, our community, to know if this is truly a good replacement for those hardwired connections that we're currently using, or if there isn't any interference, which I don't expect with a high-end unit. So so thanks everybody. Thought I'd show you first and foremost. It's out of the box. I can start hooking it up and start playing with it, and then this week we'll get it set up and we'll start using it. I may have, just a heads up, Sasha's microphone. We have a backup of that mic somewhere. So when that was donated, that microphone was actually donated to us, and when the viewer contributed that, they sent us 2. So somewhere around here, and the second one was in case it broke again, because we sometimes have problems with the cables on those the cheaper microphones. If I have a second one of those kicking around, I know I do somewhere, and I think I know where it is, then I'll be able to use 2 microphones this week on the wireless system. I'll let you know, though, ahead of time so that you know which ones are wireless and which one is hardwired. All right, folks, comment. Let me know what you think, and I'm looking forward to this week. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and for me, I'm enjoying a little bit of downtime this weekend. It's a little bit quieter at the end of the month right now, because kind of things are rolling, and we don't really have any issues at the studio that are not resolved, so that's a wonderful feeling. So now I'm kind of looking at, okay, with no issues, we can kind of look at some things that are going to just make things better around here and better for you, the viewers, and make the show as good as possible and really strong going into Season 12. I want Season 12 to really stand out and be an excellent season for everybody. So thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will see you this coming Wednesday, if not before. Thanks again. Take care.